Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Amber Living Vlog. This is Beyond Film School, and I am Amber, and today we're talking about the PAs that manage the actors, the first team PAs. Before we jump into the first team PA video, just hit up that PayPal link. That link is there, it is below. Please hit it up, it really helps me out, and thank you to everyone who's contributed already. This upcoming Thursday, I am holding a Zoom meeting. This is your chance to ask me any burning questions you have about the film industry, any type of career counseling questions you may have about you personally, resume questions, anything you want to ask. This is your chance to do it. It's going to be June 4th, Thursday at 3 o'clock. And that link will be below to the Facebook event. And the PA class for June 28th is still scheduled to happen. So if you are still interested in being a PA in my training course, please hit that link up. The details are there for you to check out. And that's going to be June 28th on a Sunday. Sticking with the interview theme that I have going for the PA series, you will hear from my PA friends once again. So one of the interview questions was involving what was one of their favorite PA positions that they liked to fill. And a lot of them said this.
Yeah, I would say first team helper. Yeah, I think that is the most enjoyable because I love dealing with, stunts or actors, every day.
My favorite would be first team, only because I came from an acting background.
The PA position that I really like doing is the first team helper position.
My favorites have been paper PA and first team helper.
What is a first team PA? Now, first team, if you don't know already, they are the actors. First team are the cast. They are the actors that you see on screen. First team PA are the PAs that help out and take care of and manage the actors on set. Now, just like the background PAs, which I explained in the last video before this one, that link will be there if you want to check that video out about the background PAs. The first team PAs are also a team. First, you have the first team runner. The first team runner is going to be a staff PA. That person will be running first team as a whole. Below that, you're gonna have first team helper. Now, the first team helper is also a staff PA, and below that, there's usually a second first team helper. So depending on what is needed for the show, on bigger days, there may be more cast, there might be stunts, there might be more people that needs to be managed. On those big days, this is where additional day player PAs come in and help as additional first team helpers. We're gonna jump into the responsibilities of the first team PAs. So there's two different scenarios here. So if you are on location, actors are going to be getting ready at base camp, and if you're at the stage, they're going to be getting ready in first team hallway. Now this is going to involve makeup, hair, and then wardrobe. At the top of the day, the first team PAs are going to make sure that they know who is coming in for the day, how many actors are they going to need to take care of.
I just love looking at the call sheet and going through their timetable, what time they need to be in the chair, what time they need to be ready for rehearsal and all that, or just that feeling of putting them through it and it all working out. And I just love meeting those time frames as well.
Before any of the actors get to their rooms or dressing rooms or their trailers at base camp, they have to make sure that each dressing room or trailer is going to be assigned and each actor has a place to go. Now that might involve printing signs that have their character names on them, or even gaff tape with their character name on them that is going to be put on the door of their trailer or their room. Then they're going to stand by for the actors. Anytime an actor is arriving, there has to be a first team PA standing by to retrieve the actor to make sure that they know where they're going and they lead them to their dressing room and or trailer. Okay, so now first team PAs have their actor. They are going to lead them to their dressing room and or trailer, and they're going to let them drop their personal items, and then they have to sign a contract. They have to make sure that before anything gets done, if there's a contract to sign, that the actor signs their contract before anything happens next. At this point, this is where the actors are going to start getting ready. Before the actor can step into hair, makeup, and wardrobe, the first team PAs have to check with those departments to make sure that they are ready for them. In case you don't know, hair, makeup, and wardrobe are three different departments, and I know a lot of people like to lump in hair and makeup together, but those are definitely two different departments on set. At any point in the stage where the actors are getting ready with hair, makeup, and wardrobe, the first team PA's job is to make sure that they are updating the ADs on the progress. Now, if the actor is with hair or makeup, that is known to be in the chair, so you'll hear that on the walkie a lot. And it's also known as being in the works. When when they are through hair, makeup, and wardrobe, they're fully changed, that is known to be 100%. They're 100% ready, they are ready to go on set. Now, let's not forget about breakfast, because first team PAs are responsible to make sure that the cast has breakfast. And sometimes they're responsible to get breakfast for actually the makeup artists and the hair stylists and the wardrobe folks in case they can't get away from base camp. Once the actors are 100%, it's not automatic that they'll go straight to set. The first team runner has to make sure that the first AD has asked for the cast to be brought to set. Now, usually the goal on set is to make sure that cast is ready 100% by crew call. Now, at crew call, that's when a private rehearsal happens, and that is when cast is needed. We want to make sure that cast is ready on set to be ready for a private rehearsal with the director. Now, once the first AD asks the cast to set, that could involve just the first team PAs escorting and walking with first team to set, or it involves loading a van and driving a van over to set from base camp. Once the first AD asks the cast to set, the first team PAs have to make sure that hair, makeup, and wardrobe are aware so they can head to set as well. At this point, this is where the first team PAs are going to splinter off. First team runner is going to stay at base camp, and the first team helpers will be on set.
First team runner, which I did on tandem units, is also fun, but you know, it's like it's kind of like the background business where one person's on set, one person's at the honey prepping, you know, the paperwork, like the Exhibit G and stuff. It is still good, but if I had to choose between the two, definitely first team helper.
The first team runner that's going to be at base camp or in the first team hallway is going to wait for other actors to arrive.
And making sure that they get from base camp to set, or their dressing room to set, and that they've gone through wardrobe, they've gone through hair and makeup, they get approved for all of those. You have to keep track of any changes they'll have throughout the day, so if they have a wardrobe change between two scenes, you gotta keep track of that.
The first team runner is also going to make sure all signed contracts get to the paperwork PA to submit to the office. And they're also going to be prepping the G. Now, what's the G? The G is short for the Exhibit G. It is a SAG document that has all the actors' names, their in, out times, lunch times, meal penalties possibly, and that document gets submitted back to SAG. Depending on the situation, there'll be a first team helper back at base camp as well with the first team runner to help travel the next group of cast. If there's no actors coming in and there's no actors at base camp, then the first team runner can be on set with the first team helper. What is the first team helper doing on set? Like I stressed earlier, anytime any actors make any moves, that is announced on the walkie. So if the first team helper is in the van or they're walking cast to set, they announce that cast is walking. They announce that cast is landing on set. Once cast lands on set, the first team helper is going to make sure that sound is ready to wire the cast. If sound is ready, they're going to bring the cast over to be wired, and at the same time, they have to make sure wardrobe is aware so wardrobe can be there while the cast is being wired to make sure that if anything needs to be adjusted wardrobe-wise, they're there to do that.
First thing you do when you bring the cast to set, almost always, you bring them to get wired. Always remember to bring wardrobe with you, because they need to check, make sure the wardrobe's correct with the wire. And then I'll check in with HMU, see if they need any touch-ups, and then I just stand by, wait for the first AD to bring the cast over to where they're actually shooting.
Once the cast is wired, the first team PAs have to link up with the props department to prop the actors. Once the actors are wired, they're propped, they're ready to go, there might be a little waiting around. Now, the hope is that once the actor is ready, the crew will be ready for them. So sometimes that doesn't happen and there might be a little waiting around. The first team PAs have to make sure that they find the cast chairs and they let the actors know where their cast chairs are. Also during this time, what the first team PAs have to do is they have to inform hair, makeup, and wardrobe of what the shot is. They have to let them know who the shot is on, how many actors might be in the shot, and what size is the shot.
They have to know, what are we seeing? Like, what is the shot going to look like? So are we going to see person A and person B? Are we going to be looking over person A onto person B? Is it a wide? Is it a close-up? They need to know all these things so they can make sure that everything is right for the shot in terms of hair and makeup. You know, tell them when we're rolling, tell them when we cut, all the usual stuff you call out, but a little more direct to them because, again, they're not on headset and they need to know because they are responsible for how the actors look in front of the camera.
So if you haven't noticed yet, the first team PAs have to be in constant communication. Not only are they gonna let hair, makeup, and wardrobe know what the shot is, they're gonna tell the cast what the shot is. First team PAs always have to check in with the actors to see if they need anything. This could be water, it could be coffee, it could be certain food, maybe certain snacks from Crafty, but they have to make sure they're taking care of the actors.
You know, along with that, it's also taking care of them, making sure that they have what they need to to stay close to the camera. So, sometimes that means going to Crafty and getting some food for them or getting them a drink to make sure that they're taken care of as people, but they don't have the luxury to always walk away and do that themselves.
And this could be something like, can you grab my personal item from my dressing room or my trailer? Can you go back to base camp? Can you get XYZ? Once the crew is ready for the cast to be on set, they will let the cast know, they will invite the cast to set, and they're also going to let hair, makeup, and wardrobe know as well. So what is going to happen first thing is they're going to do a first team rehearsal. After a first team rehearsal is over, they're going to be ready to roll. Now, this is when last looks comes into play. Last looks is hair, makeup, and wardrobe's last chance to check out the actors to make sure everything is okay. Once last looks is called, the first team PAs have to make sure that those departments are aware that last looks were called and if they're not going to be stepping in to set. If hair, makeup, and wardrobe decide not to step in because everything's fine, the first team PAs have to let the ADs know that. If they don't know they're not stepping in, we might be waiting for a long time, and then this is how you waste time on set. Now, once we start rolling, this process will continue over and over, and when we change the shot and we move on, the first team PAs have to inform hair, makeup, and wardrobe and the cast what's happening. They also are going to let the cast know if they have time to relax, if they have time to go to the bathroom, if they have time to go to Crafty. They let them know if they're not needed for the shot. There is lots of informing that the first team helper is going to do. On top of all the informing that they're going to have to do with cast, hair, makeup, and wardrobe, they also have a text chain. They have a text chain with all of the stylists, all the makeup artists, and all the wardrobe folks on a text chain to let them know what's happening on set every step of the way. Meaning, are we rolling? Did we cut? Did we move on? Are we on to the next scene? Is an actor a wrap? All those things are going to be in a text chain to those departments that the first team helper has to update. On top of all of that, they have to make sure that they're keeping an eye on first team and they have to know where they are at all times. So if an actor leaves their cast chair and they go to the bathroom, they have to make sure they announce it on the walkie, and they have to make sure that they don't lose an actor.
You gotta keep track of them and where they are, because, if they're not in front of the camera, they're not at the chairs, you need to know where they are. Are they at Crafty? Are they back in their room? So that way, when production is ready for them to be back in front of the camera, you can get them there. Waste no time. You don't have to go looking for them. You know exactly where they are.
Losing an actor for a first team helper is like the worst feeling in the world. Because then the first AD is like, hey, can I have so-and-so? And you're like, I don't know where so-and-so is. And it's like, you don't want to tell your first AD that you f***ed up. Now we're getting to lunch. So the first team PAs, before lunch is even called, they're going to get the catering menu and they have to make sure to get the order from the actors. That order has to be in their dressing room and or trailer by the time we call lunch. That's if they decide to actually eat in their room or eat in their trailer. Sometimes actors want to go to catering. So they have to know what each actor wants to do for lunch. Is it walking away to go somewhere? Is it going to catering? Is it eating in their dressing room? Once lunch is called, first team PAs are going to link up with sound again, and the actors are going to get their sound pack taken off. And they're going to leave the wire, but they're going to take the pack off. That's to save battery life and to make the actor more comfortable. After the actor's half hour of lunch is up, you're going to put the actors in touch-ups, makeup touch-ups. Now they have to make sure that makeup is ready for the actor, but touch-ups should be done before the crew is back from lunch. And we're trying to align actors being ready again and crew being ready all on set at the same time once we're back from lunch. Sometimes it might be impossible to align all those things at the same time, and the touch-ups will happen on set. Once the actors are back on set, the first team PAs will get the actors repacked with sound. Now we're getting to the wrap-out process. Once an actor is wrapped, the first team PAs have to make sure that sound gets their wire back, that props get their props back, and then we start the process of if they have any hair extensions or wigs, that hair department takes care of that. If they need any help taking off their makeup, makeup is aware of that, and that they are going to change out of their wardrobe. And once they're done changing and out of their rooms, out of their trailer or their dressing room, they let wardrobe know that the actor is out of the room so they can get their clothes back. At this point, the actor is ready to get out of there. They're ready to go home. But before they go home, they have to sign out with the first team runner. Now, what is signing out? Signing out is literally just signing the Exhibit G, the SAG form that goes to SAG. They are signing off that they approve of what is on that document next to their name. Once the actor signs the G, then the actor's all good to go, but the first team PA's job is not done yet. Once all the actors are gone, the first team runner is going to take the G and they're going to give it to the second AD. They're going to check it. They're going to sign off on it. Once it's signed off on, they're going to give the G to the paperwork PA, and the paperwork PA will give it to the office, and then it eventually makes its way back to SAG. The first team PAs also have to get the out time and paperwork from hair, makeup, and wardrobe. So once they have all of that paperwork, once they have those out times, they give it to the paperwork PA, and then they're done for the day. So just a couple of side notes for the first team PA. A lot of PAs love being first team helpers because I feel like you're always busy as a first team helper, and sometimes too busy. There's so much for you to do as a first team helper. Keeping an eye on the actor is, I feel like sometimes it's a little bit harder than being a background PA because there has to be a certain finesse. You have to kind of figure out the right way to interact with an actor. A good first team PA has a good rapport and they have a good relationship with the actors. Being a first team PA can be pretty stressful, but it is pretty fun too. For me, I mean, I've been a first team helper and I was very stressed, but I was very new when I was a first team helper. I mean, sometimes actors can get snippy with you if they're not in the right mood. And then, I mean, I've had an actor blow up on me. What happened to that actor is that the director changed the scene right on set. Like they were there, they were ready to shoot it, and then they changed all the dialogue on that actor. And I had asked the actor about something that they needed or something like that, and she like blew up on me. Just stuff like that happens all the time as a first team helper, and you just gotta like let it go. But I mean, she apologized later on about that, and she felt so bad that she like treated me like that, but it's like, they're stressed out. I don't want to be in their position. I don't envy actors because they have a really hard job. Watch how you talk to the actors. It's a very nuanced skill of making sure that you're telling them what you need, but you're not being rude or you're not being condescending or you're treating them like a baby, which I've heard all those types of complaints from actors about how first team PAs talk to them. And I will say being a first team PA is like a front seat to being the first PA fired for a reason you have no idea. If an actor doesn't like you, they will tell the ADs to fire you, and there's really nothing you can do about it. And to avoid friction, the ADs will fire you if you're asked to be fired by an actor. I actually ran into a situation once when I was working on Madame Secretary where one of the actors had a reputation. If they didn't like you, they would fire you. But luckily, I didn't get fired from that job. I got fired from that job for a different reason. I think a lot of the characteristics of a first team PA, they're more the social butterflies, I guess. They're not awkward, they really know how to be very personable with the actors. So it's about being comfortable with A-list actors. I mean, you might be working with some really big names and you cannot fangirl out. You have to treat them as normal people because that's what they are.
Because I was in the beginning, like most people are, a little bit starstruck by like, oh my god, all these celebrities that I see. It kind of like puts you down to the fact that everybody's human, brings you to more of an understanding, oh, they're people doing their work. You need to understand the professional part of it. Like, yes, you might be helping Emma Stone to go through her day and guide her around, but, you know, this is a professional setting. You can't be like pestering her for selfies or whatever. You know, you need to keep it professional.
I mean, they're coming to work and you're working with them. They are your coworker. You're there to make sure that their day goes as smooth as possible. So that is it for the video on the first team PA. I hope you have learned a lot. It's a lot of communicating. For next time, we're gonna be talking about the paperwork PA. So don't forget to hit up that PayPal link. It really helps me out. And remember, I have a virtual hangout happening, Zoom meeting this coming Thursday in a couple days. So that is it for now, and I shall see you guys next time.